I pulled into family dinner in a $50,000 luxury car. First thing I've ever bought just for me. My mom laughed and said, "Maybe stop living so comfortably." I just whispered, "Sure." That night, I paused 118 payments. Mortgage, cars, private school, club memberships, grocery accounts, even their pet insurance. By sunrise, their normal lifestyle was gone. My name is Jensen, 36, oldest son, general surgeon with a trauma focus. I live in Scrubs. I sleep in 2-hour blocks. I know how to stop a liver from bleeding and how to smile at families who are breaking. I don't know how to be a son in my own family. They call me the reliable one. Translation, the wallet. Sunday night, I pulled into my mother's driveway in a used luxury sedan I'd saved for 3 years to buy. Nothing wild. 50 grand, 5-year-old model, low miles. It wasn't even flashy. It was the first thing I'd bought that wasn't for them. The porch light buzzed. My mother, Marla, stood outside with a dish towel on her shoulder like a flag. My brother Nate was in the doorway, scrolling. My sister Tasha leaned on the rail, whispering into her phone. I killed the engine and felt something like pride rise in my chest. Small, fragile, new car. Mom called, loud enough for the neighbors. "It's used," I said. "Finally traded in the Civic." Nate whistled. "Dr. Moneybags." Tasha's eyes slid over the hood, unimpressed. "Hope you can still swing Harper's tuition next month." They increased the lab fee again. Inside, the table was set. Roast chicken, potatoes, salad in the same cracked bowl we'd had since I was 10. The family group chat had said casual dinner, which in our house always meant a performance. As I sat, Mom laughed and tapped my wrist like it was a joke between us. "Maybe stop living so comfortably, huh?" She glanced at the car through the window. "We don't all have hospital pay." I felt heat in my ears. "It's not." She kept going. "Just saying. Priorities. Your father's mortgage payment bumped up with escrow, and the club dues hit on the first. You know how these things pile up." Nate grinned. "And my Jeep needs tires." "Safety, bro." "Harper's robotics camp," Tasha added. "You promised." The words didn't pile up. They stacked like bricks. Same rhythm as always. Smile. Nod. Swallow. Hey. I looked at my plate. My hands were still. In the OR, my hands never shake. Here, they felt far away, like they belonged to someone else. Mom poured herself wine and hovered the bottle over my glass, then thought better of it. "You're on call, right?" "Off tonight," I said. "Oh." She gave a small nod. "Nice. Then you can help me look at the pet insurance thing after dessert." They changed portals. Nate snapped his fingers. "Bank transfers too." My login's locked again. "Just fix it, man." They were smiling. It was normal to them. It was love, they'd say. Families help. I heard my voice come out quiet. Sure. No one noticed the way I said it. No one noticed me go still after that. The conversation moved on. Football. Allergies. A neighbor's fence. My phone buzzed in my pocket. A resident updating a post-op note. I muted it. I chewed dry chicken. I stared at the smudge on the window where the car's reflection sat, dim and ordinary. Mom's laugh floated over the table again. "Stop living so comfortably," she'd said. And something inside me finally stopped. I became a surgeon the long way. Community college. State school. Night shifts. Scholarships stapled to loans. When Dad got sick the first time, mild stroke, full recovery, I took extra shifts to cover the gap in their income. It was temporary, they said, just until insurance settled. Temporary lasted 11 years. It started with the mortgage. Just 2 months, Mom had texted. Then Dad's hours got cut permanently. The bank threatened fees. I set up autopay so she wouldn't panic every Friday. Then Nate's car. "He needs reliable wheels to get to work," Mom said. He quit that job a month later. The payment stayed. Then Tasha's divorce. I covered the retainer for a lawyer because her ex was bad news. Then Harper's preschool. "Only until she gets a scholarship," they said. The scholarship didn't happen, but the private school did. "She's gifted," Mom said. "She needs the right environment." I added the tuition to my spreadsheet. The spreadsheet was my second heart. Color-coded tabs, mortgage, cars, utilities, phones, internet, groceries, club memberships. Yes, plural. Dad needed the golf. Mom needed the pool. Pet insurance for 2 elderly rescue dogs who were somehow always emergencies. 3 streaming services, which Mom called news access. 4 grocery accounts with family permissions so they could walk out on credit. I learned the passwords, the portals, the billing cycles. It was easier than arguing. Arguing cost time I didn't have. Hospital nights bled into mornings. I catnapped in call rooms and woke to bank alerts. I scrubbed in and thought about due dates. I ate protein bars standing at a nurse's station while my phone pinged. Mom, printer ink. Put it on the Staples card? Ours declined again. Nate, ticket. Can you Venmo? I'll pay you back Friday. He never did on Friday. Tasha, swim lessons just doubled. Can you believe it? You said you'd support Harper's activities. At first, I told myself I was doing what a good son does. We didn't grow up with much. Dad taught us that family means you don't let anyone drown. Mom taught us to smile while you do it. Then the tone changed. Jensen, you're a surgeon, Mom would say, with that light laugh that warned a list was coming. This is nothing for you. If I hesitated, she'd switch scripts. I carried you for 9 months. You wouldn't be here without me. Nate added noise. You're single. No kids. Your money is practically extra. Tasha learned how to whisper. Harper will be devastated if she has to leave school. I tried boundaries. Small ones. Me. Hey, can we pause the club? No one's using it. Mom. So you're punishing us for aging? Me. Nate. You need to call the bank yourself. Nate. I'm working on my mental health. You want me stressed? Me. Tash. Let's compare schools. Tasha. Why do you hate that my daughter thrives? I'm good with bodies. Not with this. 2 years ago, I got promoted to attending. The congratulations dinner at Mom's house turned into a budget meeting. Dad raised a toast. To our son, Dr. Jensen. Everyone clapped. Mom passed me an envelope. While you're here, can you sign these? The mortgage refinance needs your W-2. I signed. I told myself I was helping them get a better rate. I told myself I was the only one who could. Every time I thought about cutting the cord, something urgent happened. Dad's second scare. Nate's suspension, which wasn't his fault if you listened to him. Tasha's ex showing up at the school pickup line. I paid. I told myself money was the easy fix. It was proof I cared even when I missed birthdays and school plays because of the OR. Then the asks got petty. We're switching to organic produce. Put the bigger plan on the grocery account. The dog needs acupuncture. The club added a wine locker. Dad deserves it after everything. When I said no, the air went thin. Mom would tilt her chin. I hope you're not becoming selfish. Nate would send a screenshot of his bank balance at 3 a.m. Look what you're making me do, man. Tasha would cry quietly on the phone. You're lucky you get to be a surgeon. You don't know what it's like to be a single mom. Why won't you help family? In between surgeries, I would open my spreadsheet and try to find fat to trim. There was none. I cut my own gym membership. I stopped streaming anything that wasn't the hospital's CME videos. My apartment furniture was still Craigslist. My vacation was a nap on my couch with the blinds down. Luxury car. Mom had laughed when she saw it. She didn't know I'd run the numbers for a year. That I'd driven the Civic until it wheezed like a dying accordion. That the car was safer for long night drives home when my eyes burned and my shoulders shook. They didn't ask how I was. They asked where the login was. One small moment snapped it into focus. Last month, after a 16-hour trauma day, I arrived at Mom's to find a package on the step. Monogrammed towels with the club's logo. Inside, the dogs wore little bandanas that matched. A bill sat on the counter with a yellow sticky note in Mom's handwriting. Can you handle? EXO. That night, in the dark, I scrolled through my own bank app. I counted repeating debits. 118 entries across all accounts, all months. Some small, some heavy, all invisible to them. I thought about the oath I took. I thought about what care means. I thought about how my hands never shake in the trauma bay, but they trembled holding my phone. At dinner tonight, when Mom laughed and said, maybe stop living so comfortably, the last thread gave. I didn't argue. I just said, sure. The kitchen got loud again. Nate's story about a coworker, Tasha's update about school drop-off politics, Mom's commentary on everyone's choices as if she were the foreman of a very busy factory. I cleared plates. I stacked them how she likes them. I scrubbed her roasting pan while she scrolled on her iPad at the table and called me from 10 feet away. Jensen, remind me, what's the password to the mortgage portal? Nate's birthday with an exclamation, I said, then corrected myself. No, we changed it last month after the lock. I texted her the login details privately. She typed, you're a lifesaver. Nate leaned on the counter. My tires, man. The quote's in my email. They need authorization. Forward it, I said. Tasha stood in the doorway, Harper tugging her sleeve. Robotics camp email bounced. Your card must be at its limit. Can you update it? I dried my hands. I turned and looked at them. Not like a son wanting approval. Like a surgeon making a decision he can't unmake. I'm going to pause some things, I said. Mom's head snapped up. Pause what? Payments. Autopays. Transfers. All of it. I can't do 118 lines by myself anymore. Silence. Then a scoff. You're being dramatic, she said. You're tired. We'll talk next week. Nate laughed, like I'd told a joke. Yeah, okay. Tasha's eyes widened. You promised, Jensen. I nodded. I did. For a long time. I covered mortgages, cars, school, clubs, groceries, pet insurance. I did the passwords, the portals, the taxes. I'm done. I'm tired and I'm done. Mom's smile vanished. The voice changed. After everything we've done for you, you owe us. Dad, quiet until then, cleared his throat. Son, don't make your mother upset. Nate stepped closer. You think you're better than us because you got lucky with med school? I exhaled. Luck? I lived in a studio above a laundromat and studied under a fluorescent bulb for 8 years. I haven't taken a real vacation in a decade. Luck didn't set your auto pays. I did. Mom slammed her palm on the table. The wine glass rattled. You show up in a luxury car and talk about being tired? Maybe stop living so comfortably and you'll have room for family. Harper flinched at the sound. Tasha pulled her behind her like a shield. She's listening, Tasha hissed. Don't yell in front of her. She's listening, I repeated, softer. I crouched to Harper's eye level and smiled. I'll always love you, kiddo. This is between adults. I stood. I pulled my phone from my pocket. My voice was steady. I'm not arguing. I'm informing. I will freeze every non-essential payment tonight. I will send each of you a list of accounts that have your name on them and the phone number you call to unlock them. You will manage your logins. You will talk to your banks. You will meet your due dates. Tasha's mouth opened and shut. I can't afford Harper's school without you. Then you call the school, I said. Apply for aid. Transfer. Do what parents do. Nate jabbed a finger at my chest. What about my safety? Tires are safety. Then buy tires you can afford, I said. Mom's face hardened in a way I'd seen when she argued with waiters. We made you, Jensen. Without us, there is no doctor. If you walk out on us, you're not my son. I nodded once. It wasn't triumph. It was acceptance. I love you, I said. I won't be your bank. I put my dish towel down. I kissed Harper's hair. I walked to the door. Mom's voice followed me. Don't you dare make us beg. I didn't look back. In the driveway, the car sat under the porch light like a quiet witness. I put my hands on the wheel. They were still steady. I whispered the same word I'd said at the table, but this time to myself. Sure. At home, I opened the laptop I usually used for dictations and CME modules and pulled up the spreadsheet. The tabs blinked at me like little sirens. I started with the heavy hitters. Mortgage, pause. Portal churned, then accepted. A confirmation number. I copied it into a shared doc labeled family. Accounts. Call this number. Dad's truck loan. Removed my card. Set a reminder to send him the lender's support line. Added a note. Call to set your payment date. Nate's Jeep. Canceled the auto pay. The site tried to guilt trip me with red banners. Are you sure you want to risk a missed payment? I clicked yes. I copied the customer service number. I sent it. Private school. I opened the account and saw the tuition figure that always made my throat tighten. I toggled off automatic. I downloaded the financial aid forms and attached them to an email to Tasha. Here are options. Deadlines. Meet with the school. I will pay for this semester to give you time. After that, you'll decide what you can sustain. I hit send. My chest loosened a millimeter. Grocery accounts. I turned off family charge permissions. I wrote Mom a clear message. Your card will work. Mine will no longer be on file. If you need help setting a budget, I'll sit with you once. After that, you can call the store, not me. Club memberships. Cancel, cancel, cancel. 2 clicks, a long hold. A representative who recognized my last name. We'll be sorry to lose you, he said. You're not losing me, I said. You're losing my auto pay. Pet insurance. I left it for last. The dogs were old. I didn't want to punish them for human choices. I switched the billing to monthly, not annual, and texted Mom. You'll get a call to put your card on file. I'll cover 60 days while you sort it. When I finished, the spreadsheet looked different. Fewer colors. More white space. I sat back and waited for the collapse. It arrived in pings. Mom, what is this? Mortgages paused. Are you trying to get us evicted? Me. It's a forbearance option your lender offers. You'll call this number at 9 a.m. to set terms. I'll be on the line once. Mom. So now you decide when we pay our own bills. You are humiliating us. Me. Handling your own bills is normal. Nate. Bro, my car says payment failed in red. That's like a threat. Are you joking? Me. Call your lender. Ask for an income-based adjustment. Here's the phone number. Nate. Or you could do it. You're good at phones. Me, no. Tasha. I saw the email. Thank you for covering this semester. I'm scared. Me. I know. You'll figure it out. I'll help you fill out the aid forms. But I won't pay it all. Tasha, Harper will cry. Me, she'll adapt. Kids do. Adults too. At 2 a.m., the house went quiet. My body remembered the shape of real sleep. I woke up before my alarm with the kind of start I get when trauma beeps. I checked my phone out of habit. 17 texts from Mom ranging from guilt to anger to silence. One from Dad. Call your mother. One from Tasha. Can we meet at 4 to do the forms? One from Nate. A blurry photo of his dashboard warning light with the caption, "This is on you." I made coffee. I wrote out a script like I do before a hard family meeting at the hospital. Short sentences. No apologies. Yes to transitional support. No to being a permanent system. Yes to teaching. No to doing it for them. At 9 a.m., I called the mortgage lender and three-wayed Mom. She answered on the third ring, voice flat. While we waited for a rep, she said, "I cannot believe you'd put us through this." "Mom," I said, "I've been putting us through this for a decade. You didn't feel it because I absorbed it." The rep came on. We verified. We requested a hardship plan. I stayed on mute unless necessary. When the call ended, Mom sniffed. "I guess it's handled." "It started," I said. "You'll call them in 30 days again." Silence. Then, something softer. "You always were good at calls." "I won't be your call," I said. "You will be your call." Nate refused to phone his lender until they threatened a late fee. He texted me fine, like it cost him blood. He set up a smaller plan. He sent me a screenshot of his tires with a passive-aggressive caption, "Hope you're happy with this." I didn't respond. Tasha showed up at my apartment with a messy bun and a folder. We sat at my tiny kitchen table and filled in boxes. Income, expenses, household size. She cried quietly when she had to write her current balance on a line labeled assets. "I feel like a failure," she said. "You're not," I said. "You're adjusting. That's different. What if the school says no? Then you find a school that says yes." She nodded. She took a breath. "Mom's going to hate you for this." "I know," I said. "She'll be okay." At the hospital, I braced for distraction. It didn't come. I was sharper in the OR, not duller. My brain, which had been juggling their due dates, focused fully on my patient's anatomy. I went home tired, not hollow. I cooked eggs in a pan that was mine, ate them on a plate that was mine, turned on a lamp that was mine. The apartment felt quiet. Not empty. Quiet. Mom escalated. Group chat blasts. Jensen stopped paying for his family. Aunts chimed in with clucks. Cousins asked for the full story, like it was gossip. I posted one message. "I love you all. I'm not a bank." Direct future questions to the account holders, not me. Dad called and tried a different route. "Son, your mother's embarrassed." "People talk. They can talk to their lenders," I said. He sighed. "This isn't who you are." "It's exactly who I am," I said. "Someone who knows where to clamp a bleeder." The second week, the club called Mom for a final confirmation. She told them, loudly, within earshot of anyone at the desk, that her son had abandoned his obligations. The story spread like chlorine through the pool. Tasha texted me an hour later. "Mom's blowing up." Also, Harper got a partial scholarship. "It's not full, but it's something." She added, "Thank you for making me apply." I wouldn't have. I sat on the edge of the hospital bed in the call room and let that settle in my chest like a warm compress. Nate's group DM with his friends went quiet after two of them told him to stop flexing photos of weekend bar tabs if he couldn't buy tires without help. He sent me a lone text at midnight. "What's a snowball payment?" I sent a link. He said nothing else. The third week, Mom knocked on my apartment door. I'd never given her a key. She stood there with a Tupperware and eyes like a storm cloud. "Chicken," she said, thrusting it at me like a truce. "From Sunday." "Thank you," I said. I set it on the counter and didn't invite her in. She looked around the doorway. "You live so small." "I live so mine," I said. Her mouth tightened. Then it broke. "I'm scared," she said, a whisper I'd never heard from her. "What if we mess this up?" "You will," I said gently. "And then you'll call the number. And you'll fix it. Like grown-ups." Tears filled her eyes. "You're cruel." "I'm late for shift," I said. "I love you." She turned away, shoulders high. Halfway down the hall, she stopped. "Your car looks nice," she said without turning back. "The leather smells new." "It's used," I said. "I know," she said. "It still smells new." She left. I breathed. The apartment was quiet again. This time it felt like possibility, not an absence. By sunrise on the fourth week, their normal had changed shape. Bills were theirs. Choices were theirs. It was messy. It was honest. And mine, finally, were mine. It didn't end with forgiveness and a group hug. It ended with boundaries that held. Harper transferred to a magnet program with a robotics club that didn't cost 3 mortgages. She sent me a video of her first little bot making a shaky turn. Look, she yelled into the camera. It follows a line. I watched it 3 times and grinned like an idiot in an empty stairwell. Nate stopped sending me screenshots of zeros. He still sends me memes at 2 a.m. He learned the lender's hold music by heart and now complains about it like a badge. Last week, he texted, "Paid my Jeep off early. Suck it." I replied with a thumbs up. It's our language. Dad found a community pool with a senior's lap hour that costs $10 a month and discovered he doesn't need a wine locker to feel alive. He still doesn't say much. He did send me an old photo of us building a birdhouse when I was 8. No caption. I saved it. Mom still tells people I made things complicated, but her voice has softened at the edges. She manages her online banking now. She hates it. She's proud of hating it while doing it anyway. She asked me for a budget template last Sunday and said, "I'll fill it in myself." That was a bigger sentence than she knows. As for me, I keep the car clean. I drive it home at dawn with music low and hands steady. I bought 2 good pillows and slept a full night without dream smoking bank alerts for the first time in years. My apartment is still small. It has plants now, a rug, Saturday coffee that isn't chugged. When people ask about my family, I don't lie and I don't perform. I say, we're learning how to be a family that doesn't run on my debit card. If they wince, that's theirs. I'm done smoothing the edges so no one gets cut by the truth. The moral isn't that money ruins people. Money just revealed the system we'd built. Me as the fuel, them as the engine. Engines stop without fuel. They also get redesigned. If you're reading this and you're the reliable one, I'm not here to shame your giving. I'm here to tell you that giving without boundary isn't love. It's erasure. You vanish one autopay at a time until the only proof that you exist is a line item called ginseng. I don't vanish now. My mother once laughed and said, "Maybe stop living so comfortably." I did. I stopped living so comfortably for them. I started living honestly for me. I still pick up the phone when it's a true emergency. A fall, a fever, a surgery consent. I'll show up for those. I'll sit in the ER and hold a hand as kin, not as currency. Everything else, I make one call. To myself. Sure, I say, but only if it's mine to carry.